Happy New Year, everyone. In a couple of my previous posts, I've talked about some more advanced recovery techniques, and one of them that I'm going to talk about right now is we just call shakeouts. There are a lot of great recovery techniques out there, you know, that we've talked about, ice baths, things like that. They're certainly the best, but one that you can use immediately after the workout, no matter where you are or what you have access to, is a shakeout. The benefit of the shakeout is that it will reset the muscle tetanus. So after exercise, you have a certain amount of tension left in the muscle, and if you don't resolve that tension, the muscle will stay tight and it keeps blood, fresh blood from flowing into the muscle. So your various recovery techniques are really all about blood flow. The shakeout will relax the muscle, and then that will allow a fresh blood supply to come in and encourage healing on that muscle. The shakeout is pretty easy to do. You can do it yourself. You can have somebody else do it for you. It's just a rhythmic technique of just shaking the muscle to reset the tetanus in that muscle. So I'm going to demonstrate on my quad. And again, this is very easy to do. You just have to know which direction the muscle runs. In general, it doesn't have to be perfect. So for example, the quad is actually going to run pretty much from the hip to the knee. Now again, you have some various degrees, you know, fibers running different directions in there, but generally speaking, all the muscles in the leg are going to run from this way to this way, and again in the shank from the calf down to the ankle. So for the quad, basically you just take one hand, preferably whichever hand you have better rhythm in, and you're just going to just relax the muscle, just get it in a nice shortened but not tightened position, and you're just going to shake it. Now for post-workout, you're going to go with a nice slow shake. Now if I wanted to involve the hamstring, the adductors, I could just bend the knee. And again, you want a relatively neutral state for all the muscles, and you can see how everything's nice and loose there. And that's exactly what you want to do. In about 30 seconds to a minute, give it a good shake. If you want to target a specific muscle or a specific area of the muscle, so say for instance that I wanted to target the adductor, I could actually get in here, and I'm usually going to start with a nice general one. I'll maybe give it some bumps, and you can see that's still got a little bit of a tightness left in it, so it needs some more. And you can tell the muscle will begin to get nice and supple. You can start to see a little bit more movement there as it relaxes. And now I'm not changing anything in my tapping. And you can see the muscle begins to relax. Now if I wanted to get in here and target a specific muscle, so I'm going to get in the adductor. And your motion is always perpendicular to the way the muscle runs in general again. Like I said, you can begin to see that relax. And once the muscle starts relaxing, it takes less and less effort to get it moving. As you can see, I'm now just doing that with my fingers, whereas before I was having to use an entire hand. And if I wanted to move down to the shin, and again you want to get the muscle in a nice shortened position, I'm going to slide my pants up for this. You can see to get the muscle going. And it will relax and it'll get nice and supple. And that's what you want. You want a nice supple muscle post-recovery, or for post-workout recovery. And as that muscle relaxes, again, it's going to encourage some better blood flow. Now if I wanted to prepare for exercise, I do something a little bit more tense. So you can do something to sort of invigorate the muscle. You can speed the shaking up. You can use a little bit more of a slapping motion. So we're going to go down to the calf, and instead of doing this nice slow tap, I'm actually going to speed it up and shorten it a bit too. We're not going for a big motion here because you're not trying to relax it. You're just going nice and quick, and that's actually going to wake the muscle up. It does reset the tetanus, but it sets it to a nice optimal level for activity. So you could do this right before activity, and it actually has a little bit of a effect, kind of like skipping does. It'll awake the nervous system. It'll get it better for prepared for firing. And it's actually a very useful thing to do before any kind of explosive activity, because the muscle has to be at an optimal length as far as the sarcomere is concerned. It has to be at an optimal length to give you a better fire, a more powerful fire, or a more explosive fire. So you can use both those techniques, one before, the much more vigorous before, and the nice slow, large shakes after to improve muscle recovery. One of the things that you're going to notice if you do that is when you stand up, your legs are actually going to feel a little jello-y. Not like a post-workout, like my legs are exhausted jello-y, but just loose. It'll feel very loose. But give those things a try. You can use them any muscle. You can get to a point where you don't even have to use your hands. You can just shake them out. Pecs, really anywhere will work. After you get well experienced with it, you can even get to a point where you can use other muscles to shake. So for example, in the quad, if you're well practiced, if you want to loosen up the adductor and you're in you can't sit down or something like that, you need to do it quick, you're preparing for activity, you can just kind of give it a little shake and get those muscles going. Give those things a try. I think you'll really enjoy them and be impressed with how much it loosens the muscle up. Personally, in my opinion, and most of my patients and clients that I've worked with agree that it's actually far more effective in a far shorter amount of time and effort than traditional stretching or even PNF stretching is. So it's great. Give it a try. I think you'll really be impressed with it. Again, I hope you guys are having a great new year. Wish you a happy, prosperous new year, and we'll see you again soon.